Hello, my fellow nerds, and welcome to the Nerd Empire. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today, and I hope you all will enjoy today's reaction video. With that being said, let's get right into it, shall we? Now, this first thing is, this came across my feed a few days ago, and I saved it so we can all take a look at it. It is basically saying that men should be taxed more after a certain age just for, being a man, which I find, really fucking stupid. It's like, if you're going to tax men after a certain age just for being single and for being men, then you better do that for women as well. Because like the old saying goes, you cannot have your cake and eat it too. So let's see what this whole thing has to say, and we'll see what the comments have to say below about it. Now it says, it says a generation of women are realizing that non-committal forever boyfriends are a very poor substitute for a husband and father of your children. My ex stole my childbearing years. Does he owe me compensation? To that question, I would say no. No, he does not. He did not steal your childbearing years. See, the thing is, a lot of people seem to forget, and especially women like this seem to forget, it takes two to tango. Remember, you can't get pregnant without consenting to somebody else, having sex with you. I'm not talking about anything non-consensual. I'm talking about the consensual stuff here. We're not getting into that other stuff. He did not steal your childbearing years. You willingly chose to have sex with this man. And you guys chose not to use protection. Or if you did, then, that sucks that you got pregnant. But, protection is not 100% absolute foolproof. But just because you got pregnant doesn't mean he owes you compensation. Now, should he help pay for the child since you got pregnant? Yes, he should. But this just because you say that he stole your childbearing years, you can't just say, does he owe me compensation? No. Does he owe compensation for helping raise the kid? Yes. Let's see what this lady has to say. Yes, men should have to pay extra taxes for being single after age 30. Now, I find this whole thing right here really fucking stupid. So, for every year we stay single after 30, we should pay extra taxes. In what logical sense does that make? I mean, if we're going to do that, then I would say at the age of 25 and on, for every year a woman doesn't have a child and is single, she should have to pay taxes. How about that? Oh, you don't like that? You don't like the sound of that? Then maybe you shouldn't be saying this stupid ass shit right here. Because this sounds just as retarded as what I just said. Those taxes can go towards financial incentives for married couples to have children. Again, you can't just go and tax other people just so... You can't just go and tax the single people just so married people can have kids. You want people to get married and have children? Make it so that people want to. Because right now, it's not financially feasible or smart to have kids because everything's so fucking expensive now. My generation and Gen Z right now can't even afford to have a house because the general cost of a house in America is $300,000 to $400,000. So just the interest or down payment alone, almost nobody in my generation and the one after me can't afford that. This solves birth rates. Boom, you're welcome. No, it doesn't. It doesn't solve anything. The reason men specifically need to be taxed extra, especially above a certain tax bracket, is to eliminate the more money, more bitches incentive for success. More money, more bitches. Look, I will tell you this. The vast majority of men, me included, we want to get married. We want to have kids. We want to have a family. Most of us, we wanted that white picket fence dream that America was pushing out to its citizens for decades. But nowadays, that white picket fence dream is even less than a fucking pipe dream. Ideally, a man's incentive for success should come from providing for his family. It is best if men settle down. You to avoid men. Okay, lady, get your grammar right first of all. Jesus Christ. To avoid men wasting women's reproductive years. Then, ladies, maybe you should make better decisions on who the fuck you pick to have sex with. Look, ladies, you seem to forget. You are the ones that decide whether or not somebody can have sex with you. You are the gatekeepers of that. Men are not. We can't. The only thing we decide is like, this is another thing that I heard. Women marry who they can. Men marry who they want. So, men are basically the gatekeepers of marriage, but ladies, you are the gatekeepers of fucking sex. So you decide whether or not you want to have sex, and in that regard, you decide whether or not you want to get bread. You know, for as horrible as the way I put it there. So it's not men that are solely responsible for wasting women's reproductive years. Ladies, you have a part in that as well. More so than the men, because you decide whether or not he can fuck you. Alternatively, maybe you can get out of single tax if you're in a new registered relationship for less than 2 years. That gets all the relationships registered so that people cannot cheat without the side piece knowing. Oh God, cheating, that's another thing. I've always said there is no excuse in the world that you can make that will excuse you cheating. It does not matter what the other person said or did. It does not fucking matter. Cheating is inexcusable in any way, shape, or form. I don't care if the other person cheated on you. I don't care if the other person was physically or mentally or emotionally abusive to you. It still does not excuse cheating. If you want to sleep with more than one person, don't get in a fucking relationship. And if you're in an abusive relationship, as hard as it is to leave, find some help and fucking leave. And some of you people don't see the fucking red flags right away, and you willingly ignore them until shit hits the fan. This whole entire thing, this Jessica Pin that said, is full of fucking holes. It is full of fucking fallacies. It's full of fucking retardation. So let's see what some of these comments have to say. Mad Monkey says, if men over 30 pay a tax, then single moms over 30 pay double. And she says that makes no sense. Single moms have kids to provide for you, idiot. Okay. This I sort of disagree with. Single moms shouldn't pay taxes just for being a single mom, because yes, she has children to take care of. And putting more financial burden on a single mother it's not a very smart thing to do. Now, single ladies who don't have kids over 30 should pay the same for men who are single and over 30. So this would make more sense if he said single ladies and not single moms. So in regards, I do agree with her on the single mom thing. Single moms shouldn't have to pay taxes. Instead of that, we should remove property rights from all unmarried women over 30 so the unmarried men get married sooner. Some of this stuff I'm not going to have an opinion on because I don't understand it. I don't have enough knowledge in it. So let's see. Here's another one. Obviously, there should be a obese tax for all females over 18 for failing to be attractive for 30-year-old men, and a government compulsory chastity belt fitted to all females that seek male company outside the family home. And she says, why not a chastity belt for men? It's male promiscuity that is the problem. Hi, Working. Nice to see you. See, this is where she is completely wrong. It is not male promiscuity that's the problem. It's female promiscuity that's the problem because, like I said before, women are the gatekeepers of sex. Men actually have to do shit for the woman to say yes to them, to have sex with them. Now, it's you know, with this entire thing, it is all on women when it comes to sex because I'm going to repeat myself many times in this. If a woman says no to sex, then that's no. A man can't do anything because she said no. So the chastity belt for women makes more sense than a chastity belt for men. These women don't realize that women hold the key to hookup culture. Yes, a lot of women, some women, I can't say a lot of women because it's the vocal minority that make it look like the vast majority. But those kind of women in the vocal minority think that the hookup culture is because of men. No. The entirety of hookup culture is on the shoulders of women because they are the ones that decide whether or not somebody can have sex with them. So hookup culture was created by women, and they have all the responsibility of it. So they need to take accountability for it. Now, the obesity tax, I think, should probably go for everybody because we have entirely too many fat people. And we should double the obesity tax for people who are in the body positivity shit. Because that body positivity movement for the fat fucks needs to fucking die and stay dead. So, my taxes already pay for those little snots, schooling, medical care, and a whole range of other things. I pay as much tax as a family with one parent working and use less than a quarter of the services they do. I am already paying more than my fair share. Get real. Are you married? It doesn't matter if he's married or not. A lot of these people are paying more taxes than they actually should. That's so naive and silly reasoning. Men wouldn't be single or non-achievers if the women were more feminine. Men in general need goals and motivation. They initially don't care about kids or getting settled. What men care about is achieving their targets and feeling loved and cared for. And in return, they will carry the world. Yeah, see, for men, if they feel like they have no purpose, then they don't see a point in doing anything. Men, despite what a lot of people think, men need a purpose. That is what we exist for. We need a purpose. And the men wouldn't be single or non-achievers if the women were more feminine. For the women not being more feminine, I mainly blame a lot of this on the third wave and current wave feminist movement. Because after the first and second wave, they got their rights to vote, and they got the right to be breadwinners. The first and second generation of feminism basically achieved everything they set out to achieve. Women can vote, women can work, they could be the breadwinners, they could be CEOs. Hell, one even got to be vice president, and they can run for presidency. They have no. What more do they need? They basically have every single right and opportunity that men have. I don't see what else they could fight for. They basically got everything they wanted. So what's the point of the feminist movement now? What are they fighting for? That's the question a lot of people have, and the answer is they're not fighting for equality anymore. They're fighting for superiority. We require understanding and something to do. Exactly. Women stopped being feminine and thought they can do everything themselves, became cocky, bitchy, extremely high maintenance. A lot of these women, yeah, they became very cocky, they became very masculine, they became very confrontational and combative, which is everything. You're basically a man. So unless the man is gay, why would he want to get into a relationship with somebody else who's basically just a man? Men like their women to be feminine. Now, we're not saying you have to be completely helpless and useless and submissive and have no thought or agency of your own. That's not what we're saying. We just want a woman who's feminine. We want somebody who we can protect and provide for, but also at the same time not somebody who's going to completely take absolute advantage over us and think of us as less than a human being. For young men, they see it's a pointless avenue, so they won't even try, or they get Asian or Eastern European girlfriends instead. The problem is not men, it's the feminist movement going too extreme. Yes, because a lot of the women over in Asia or a lot of the European countries, they're basically raised and shown how to be women, how to be feminine. Whereas a lot of women here in America, in the Western countries, they're not taught any of that. It's been completely lost. Now, I'm not saying that's all women. I'm just saying a lot of the women have forgotten how to be feminine, how to be women. The high maintenance and the aggression is a turnoff for a lot of normal men seeking a default setting woman. The way things were about 200 years ago were better when looking for a partner than today. Yeah, it's just... Okay, let's see what she has to say to this. Okay, provide evidence for the following. Provide what you could possibly falsify each... what could possibly... Alright, explain why men in general need goals and motivation. Why don't think... This woman's English is fucking horrible. Why don't think... You're speaking in caveman terms, lady. This is true more for men than for women. What is your evidence? What is supposed to motivate people most? Well, this is men in general need goals and motivation. Well, this is just how men are. This is how we are wired. We need purpose. It's just how men have been since men have came into creation. This is just how we evolved. Explain why they initially don't care about kids or getting settled. Doesn't it seem like 25-year-old women today care less than men did 70 years ago during the golden age of patriarchy? I hate the patriarchy thing. It's just women think the patriarchy still exists when it just factually does not. The patriarchy doesn't exist, at least anymore. It hasn't existed for a while. I mean, for me personally, sorry, I'm still eating pizza. I have wanted to get married and have kids since I was 18. So, I've been wanting to get married and have kids for 26 years. My goal was to be married by 27 and have kids before I was 30. That was my goal. Sadly, I'm 34 now, single, and have nobody. So, it sucks, but it's just how things are. Explain why. What men care about is achieving their targets and feeling loved and cared for. Why don't you think that's really true for women? Well, she's completely missing the fucking point. He's explaining how men feel in all this thing. This is the one thing I hate with these type of women. When a guy explains how a man feels or how men in general feel, they instantly have to interject for women as well. It's like, we get how you women feel. We've had it explained to us to fucking death. But we can't explain how men feel without you interjecting the woman's side again as well. Question, have you played a Vampire Survivors? No, I have not. I've been thinking of kids since I was 16, still single because I don't catch an STD and think that waiting till marriage is best before trying to have kids. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're going to wait to have sex and everything until after you're married, then, good on you. Explain why women stopped being feminine and thought they can do everything themselves. Under what conditions were women feminine? Before the fucking feminist movement. Well, I'd say before the third generation of feminist movement. Women were still pretty feminine during the first and second generation, I would say. But they completely put a fucking halt to that in the third generation and the current generation. Because they brainwashed women to try and be boss babes. Which is just the worst thing to happen to women, in my opinion. Okay, I don't know if you'll see this message, but my connection with your stream where I'm at in my store is terrible, so just respond to my question in DMs and Discord. Okay. So it's just... This woman is a fucking moron. Her entire thing of this for men being taxed and, this whole thing is just fucking retarded. It's so goddamn stupid. Ladies, if you don't want to get pregnant, just wait to have sex till after you're married to have kids, or just don't have sex at all. Because even if you're on birth control and the man uses a condom, it is still not 100% foolproof against pregnancy. Shit happens. So you want to prevent pregnancy or you want to have kids when you're married, don't fucking have sex or wait till after you're married to have sex. Modernizing everything just ruins the ancient system that worked perfectly fine. Yes, the system we as men and women have had for thousands, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years has been working just fine. And until the last 50 to 100 years where the modern age has started to fucking ruin it. But it's just, I thought this whole entire thing, but it came across my feed a few days ago. I thought I'd make a reaction to it. I just thought this entire thing was so fucking stupid. It's like these type of women don't use their fucking brain. And look, I'm not blaming the women for acting the way they do sometimes, because women act more on emotion because that's just how they're wired. That's just how they are. And men act more logically. That's just because how we're wired. We don't really act on emotion. At least not in the same way women do. Well, that is the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give a like and subscribe. I post videos 3 to 5 days a week here. I also post videos over on my other channel for gaming as well. So please make sure to give that a look-see. See if you enjoy that as well. I also stream anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week as well. Links to all my social medias will be on my YouTube page. And with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.